Hey guys, it's Ginny Silver, and today I have a stimulus update for you on Saturday, February 20th. Yesterday on Friday, the House of Representatives released the full bill final text for what will be voted on this next week regarding the $1.9 trillion stimulus proposal that is undergoing the process of budget reconciliation. Now, I wanted to go through the full bill text with you for a few key areas that many of you have been waiting to see exactly what the final language would look like. These areas include the unemployment provisions, the child tax credit language, and the direct stimulus payments. There are additional details in this bill, but those are the three areas that I'm going to be covering today. I'm going to link the full bill text in the video description down below. It's over 500 pages. You might not want to read it, but just in case you do, the link will be down there. First, we have the unemployment provisions. This text states that the end date of Pandemic Unemployment Assistance, PUA, and the PEUC extension, which is the extension for traditional unemployment claims, would be extended up through August 29th, 2021. Now, PUA, Pandemic Unemployment Assistance claims, were previously stated in the last stimulus bill at being at a maximum of 50 weeks. Those 50 weeks here are being amended and are inserting 74 weeks instead. Weeks to bring all PUA claims up until that August 29th extension date. So, if you have an end date on your PUA claim that states April 10th, that end date, if this passes, would be extended up through August 29th, and you would be awarded those additional weeks worth of claim balance. So what about those of you that are on traditional unemployment claims and you are an employee prior to being unemployed? Well, the PEUC extension is also extended up until August 29th. The PEUC extension is the extension for traditional unemployment claims. However, the breakdown in weeks is a little bit different because PEUC first initially had the 13 weeks that it was granted with the first CARES Act, and now they're adding in the additional weeks here. PEUC is amended by striking 24 weeks and inserting 48. No, PEUC claims are not receiving less than a PUA claim. It breaks down into the same amount of weeks worth of federal extension. It's just a little bit different how it's calculated because PEUC has been broken down into several different chunks. So PUA and PEUC would both be extended up until August 29th. Next, we have the FPUC boost, which is the additional boost from the federal government on top of your weekly benefit award amount. This is an extra amount that is added in to your regular weekly benefit award amount. Currently, we are receiving an additional $300 worth of FPUC boost. Now, if this bill passes, all unemployment claims would receive an additional $400 boost as opposed to the $300 boost. Now, the current $300 boost expires on March 14th, so this proposed $400 boost would take its place for weeks after March 14th. The CARES Act is amended by striking March 14th, 2021 and inserting August 29th, 2021 for weeks of unemployment ending after March 14th, 2021 and ending on or before August 29th, 2021. $400. We also see an extension of new claims having that first week worth of waiting waived. So once a new claim is approved, it can receive payouts right away. We see an extension of emergency state staffing flexibility. This is amended by striking March 14th and inserting August 29th. We also see additional funding allocated to the Department of Labor for timely, accurate, and equitable payment. We see funding for fraud prevention, equitable access, and timely payment to eligible workers. $2 billion to remain available until expended to detect and prevent fraud, promote equitable access, and ensure the timely payment of benefits with respect to unemployment insurance programs. Next, I'm going to go through the child tax credit language that is provided in the new stimulus bill text. In the case of any taxable year beginning after December 31st, 2020 and beginning before January 1st, 2022, so essentially 2021, we see a $3,000 child tax credit for children ages 6 and above, all the way up, including 17-year-old dependents. We see $3,600 in the case of a qualifying child who has not attained age 6 as the close of the calendar year in which the taxable year of the taxpayer begins, so for 2021. Now, the amount of the credit goes down according to your income. The amount of the credit shall be reduced by $50 for each $1,000 or a fraction thereof by which the taxpayer's modified adjusted gross income exceeds the applicable threshold amount. The threshold amounts include $150,000 in the case of a joint return or surviving spouse, $112,500 in the case of a head of household, and $75,000 in any other case. Now, this tax credit is to go out in the form of an advance monthly payment. So each month you would receive a 1/12 payment of the $3,000 or $3,600 credit per child. That means that if you had one child over the age of 6, you would receive a $250 payment per month. And for a child under the age of 6, you would receive a $300 payment per month. This is per child dependent. So according to how many children you have, that is the amount of credit that you would receive. Secretary shall establish a program for making monthly payments to taxpayers, each of which is equal to 1/12 of the annual advance amount. The Secretary shall establish an online portal which allows taxpayers to elect not to receive payments under this section, to provide information to the Secretary which would be relevant to a modification, to provide a change in number of the taxpayer's qualifying children, including if a child is born, to provide a change in the taxpayer's marital status, or provide a significant change in the taxpayer's income, or any other factor which the Secretary may provide. So if you have any life-altering events, if you have a birth of a child in the middle of the year, you'll be able to submit that change through the online portal so that your tax credit will be increased. This also gives the authority for the Secretary to adjust the interval of payments. So if it's not feasible for them to do 12 payments throughout the year, the Secretary can make the adjustment according to what frequency they are able to pay you out. The payments are set to go to any account that you made a federal payment to the IRS or received a federal return on or after January 1st, 2019, or any Treasury-sponsored account. So when could payments for this program begin to go out? Now, this legislation states that no payments will go out from this program before July 1st. So the estimated start date is July 1st. However, there is no hard and fast guarantee here that they would start July 1st. No payment shall be made under the program established under subsection A with respect to any month beginning before July 1st, 2021, or any month beginning after December 31st, 2021. Lastly, let's go over the stimulus direct $1,400 payment text. Now, this rebate is for tax year 2021. $1,400, $2,800 in the case of a joint return, plus $1,400 multiplied by the number of dependents of the taxpayer for such taxable year. Who is eligible for these? An eligible individual is defined as any individual other than a non-resident alien individual, or any individual who is a dependent of another taxpayer, or an estate or trust. The limitation in receiving the full stimulus amount of $1,400 is limited based on adjusted gross income. The taxpayer's adjusted gross income for such taxable year over $75,000. For joint return or surviving spouse, the income cap is $150,000, and for head of household, the income cap is $112,500. Under timing, they state that the Secretary shall pay these out as rapidly as possible, and that no refund or credit shall be made or allowed under this subsection after December 31st, 2021. These will be paid out to any account to which a payee received or authorized on or after January 1st, 2019, a refund of taxes. Any account belonging to a payee from which that individual on or after January 1st, 2019 made a payment of taxes, or any Treasury-sponsored account. Now, you guys are going to ask me in the comments, do I file now or do I wait to file? That's going to be a question for you and your CPA or your tax preparer. So I'm not going to actually give you advice on when you personally should file your taxes, but the IRS is going to look to whatever tax information they have on hand for you to base your refund amount off of. So if they only have your 2019 income taxes, then for the child tax credit and for the direct stimulus payment, they will be looking at your 2019 adjusted gross income. If your 2019 adjusted gross income was greater than your 2020, then you may be subject to receiving less of a direct stimulus payment. Now, if you have filed your 2020 income taxes, they will be looking at your 2020 income tax return and basing it according to that. Now, keep in mind that if you have filed your income taxes but the IRS hasn't processed them, then they will not be able to base your stimulus direct payment and your child tax credit on your filed taxes because they haven't been processed yet. So keep all of that in mind as you are deciding when it is the best time for you to file your taxes. Okay, guys, I hope that was helpful. Please click like, subscribe, and leave me a comment down.